How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the First Ones to Die podcast. Whew, it's good to be back. We're going to talk about, of course, Argylle, the newest spy movie hitting the theaters. Well, it's been out for a minute, but you know what? It don't matter, because we're going to talk about all the things. We're going to talk about the Henry Cavills. We're going to talk about spy books and how trash they is. We're going to talk about all the stuff. So if you want to hear what we have to say, sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and listen on in to the First Ones to Die.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the First Ones to Die podcast. My name is Jonathan, and we back, baby. All right, we are back in action. It's 2024, and we're ready to talk about some stuff.
The First Ones to Die podcast is back. It's back.
That's right. That's
the
our new
echo
theme
in there.
song.
I'm trying to figure out why I am back.
I'm here with Alex and Jerome. How y'all doing? How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing good. Doing okay. Not great.
Why?
I was gonna be like, I'm doing good. No. I mean, like, man, 2024 really started off like trying to push me down. Be like, I don't know what I did. I don't know who I pissed off in 2023, but like 2024 is coming for me. Don't know what I did, but it's been like okay and getting slightly better as the days pass. It's crazy though, because we're already in like the second week of February.
Yeah.
It's insane that we're here. And like, yeah, I'm still processing January, honestly. January felt like a whole year in itself. Yeah, no, things have been good. Not too much exciting stuff, having to deal with my shitty car still. That is still a topic of an issue with me. I'm the only one without a new car. Either I die or the Beetle dies. Somebody's going first. Somebody's blinking. So we'll see who goes. Maybe 2024, one of us is gone.
I hope it's the Beetle first.
Yeah, hopefully it's the car.
Don't worry, y'all got Jasmine. It'll be fine.
Oh.
Well, Jasmine's the replacement now.
Well, she's like the unofficial one, so now she can become the official one, proper host. But I'm doing okay. Just been watching a lot of horror. We're like rewatching some horror films mainly is what I'm doing, because I was because I kind of miss watching horror films, but a lot of the horror films nowadays are really playing it safe with their spooks and scares. And it's like, no, I want something that's going to leave me really uneasy and really uncomfortable and scared at the end.
Excited for Imaginary, the horror movie about an imaginary friend?
I am
It looks interesting.
not. I don't.
It does not look interesting. I don't know what trailer you saw.
I didn't see a trailer. I just saw an image.
He doesn't watch trailers.
I saw an image, and I was
of a teddy bear.
Of the teddy bear.
I get why imaginary friends kind of worry people, because your kid's talking to nothing. You know, it is creepy in itself, but the kids are creepy in general. They're just creepy little things. But like the whole imaginary thing doesn't really scare me, because it always ends up, oh, it's a demon. Okay,
well,
yeah, kind of.
Especially because in the trailer they were like, it's a demon. And it's like, oh, well, I guess that spoils that. All right.
Oh, see, I didn't even see that trailer. I just assumed. I'm like, if it's an invisible thing talking to a kid, probably a demon.
That's just
and
like, what's funny is that 2 Imaginary Friend movies are coming out this year, though. Because we got that movie and then the John Krasinski, like, more like family film fun movie about imaginary friends.
Speaking of John Krasinski, are y'all excited to see the first Quiet Place or whatever it's called?
Yeah, Quiet Place Day 1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm excited for Lupita, because she killed it in Us.
Oh, she in that?
So yeah.
No, this one is a new family. Well, I say family, new person, because it's just her and her cat. But it's a new person, even new location, because this is New York City, it looks like. And it's like the first day the aliens showed up. So I'm like, it's an interesting
She looks
premise.
terrifying in those images when she's like, or something like that. She looks really scary. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's overplayed sometimes when they put it in like New York City or LA. But for a movie where you have to be silent, it's interesting to have that set in New York, because there was a movie on Netflix called Yeah, there was a movie on Netflix called Silence, but they were like in a small town. No, they were in a smaller town and they were immediately right by the woods, so it was easy to not talk or, make sounds or anything for the aliens didn't get them. So, but to be in New York City where it's loud with the, not even just the people, but the businesses, the cars, the like advertising, it's flashy and it's bright too. So it's an interesting concept to have it there instead of playing it safe where they can escape into like the woods or something or a smaller town. Kind of what they did in the Quiet Place. No, it's not called. Yeah, it's called The Quiet Place.
Yeah, it's called.
Why did it? Shut up. Is it called A Quiet Place? Shut up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called A Quiet Place.
So a guy I hung out with for a second. Apparently, my response to what he was talking to me was, "No, you're." Like he told me something, and I was like, "No, you're not." He's like, "Do you always say that? Do you just say no all the time?" I was like, "Apparently, I do." And ever since that, I have been self-aware when people tell me something, and I'm like, "No, you're lying." And I was like, "Why do I say that all the time?" No, shut up. Is my immediate response to things. So I have now also become more self-aware this year, which is fantastic because that's what my mental health needed. But
Jerome,
Jonathan,
No,
how was your time away from the podcast? How's the beginning of your 2024 going?
good. It's been very good, very chill. Been like doing a lot more stuff on like weekends and stuff. One of my goals of 2024 was to like just do more, and also not procrastinate as much, and like a couple other things, but like boring stuff. But yeah, it's been good so far. I'm trying to think. This weekend was good. Watched the Super Bowl, and watched some of we had a whole Super Bowl discussion earlier, but can we talk about some of those commercials in the
For
sense
sure.
that, well, first of all, we have, of course,
I didn't-
Beyonce, the star of the night in the Super Bowl ads.
Yeah.
The fact that she was in a Verizon commercial, it was, first of all, so random, but then it turned out to not be random because she was dropping an album.
Is she the star of the commercial? I mean, we had a lot of celebrity cameos. Heck, Heidi Gardner and Dan Levy got like 3 commercials by themselves.
We gonna say,
I'm
you gonna say, is Beyonce
comparatively
the
a
star?
Super
We
Bowl
had Heidi Gardner.
I'm saying they got more screen time. If we go by commercial screen time, they got more screen time.
And you know what else got more screen time? You know how many times I saw that Temu ad? I saw it about 5
That's
times.
true. The
all right?
Timo ad played like I was like, God dang, they must have made a lot of money off those cheap products because good God, they have more commercials than everybody else.
yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I heard that too. I also heard my favorite one was when they were talking about, even though I have a Volkswagen, I know what happened in 1940 where the Volkswagen was developed. And apparently the Volkswagen did a little like
my
history
gosh.
background. And yeah, it's probably best they don't mention why it was what it was doing during the 1940s.
It's true.
Yeah.
good
Although
idea.
I know what your favorite commercial was because
Who?
it had your favorite character in it.
Who?
It was a Paramount Plus commercial when good old Captain Picard decides
Yeah.
to throw Hey Arnold like a football into a mountain.
Wait, he threw Hey Arnold. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
see
And
that
he's
one.
like,
See that?
and he
Oh
even
my God.
goes as far
So I
as to
saw
sing the
that-
Creed song. Talking about, I threw him high.
Like it's actually Picard singing too. I absolutely love it because I
Patrick
actually
Stewart
saw that
singing.
right before the football, right before the Super Bowl, and I was dying because he also gets into like the old school football wear too, like straight leather going on, and he and it's not that he just throws Hey Arnold. That boy spirals. It's a perfect spiral for that thing, and then they try to figure out who else can we throw.
But this Super Bowl, I felt like more than ever, it was like Comic-Con on steroids because they just released so many movie trailers during the Super Bowl.
It was 4.
That's a lot.
4
for
yes.
Super.
Well, what's crazy? The reason
Why
I
do
say
they
it
have
that way
any movie
is
trailers
because
during the Super Bowl?
this and they've been doing this now for the past couple of years, but it's like something me and my dad talked about because we watched the Super Bowl together. Of like how the days when like it used to be the movie trailers premiered in the Super Bowl. Now they put out a trailer that's like, go online to see the full trailer. And I'm like, but I'm here now. But then I think about it, I'm like, but it is
because they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to pay all the money.
Right, that's a 30-second time spot you paid for, as opposed to like 2-3 minutes, whatever. And now,
and then they get money
go
from
online. Yeah,
and they also get money from the YouTube views.
That's true.
And they can watch, and then people can just watch it for free, like, or they for free can just put it out in a way where people can watch it as many times as they want. So it's like, you know, like, and that's going to be made into an ad that'll play before other videos. You know what I'm saying? So I get it from a business standpoint, but it's still a thing where I'm like, I miss when they used to have trailers during the Super Bowl, not trailers for the trailers that you need to
What
go see.
movies? So I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I watched like 10 minutes of it, so I didn't see the halftime show. I didn't see any of the commercials or anything. I've heard lots of talk about it, and
real
like,
quick,
what?
Can we talk about the halftime show? Because it was good. But I don't know why black people this year, like at the start of this year, have decided to choose violence every day. All right, we already got the Cat Williams Club Shay Shay stuff going on. Monique done come on there and also stir up some tea. Now, like we got Nicki and Megan beefing, Eminem and Benzino's beefing. Like there's just all types of craziness going on in the black community. And then to add the total,
I know what you're about to say.
Like lay on the cake. Here it is. Usher and Alicia Keys sing My Boo at the halftime show, and everybody is immediately clowning Swiss Beats. Talk about, shoot, if that were my wife, I wouldn't let him touch on her like that. Like, and Swiss had to come out and be like, look, it's not that serious. We are cool. We are friends.
Yes,
she's performing.
That and people are clowning Alicia Keys. I love me some Alicia Keys, but everyone's just been clowning her so much. The fact that when she started, she started Alicia off keys, and she said, you know
what I'm saying?
And she said, some people, and she missed the note. She didn't quite get it, but I still love Alicia Keys. I don't know. Everyone just turned on her.
Everyone's turning on everybody this year. Like black people can't catch a break. Everybody catching it straight. Well, not Megan. Everyone loves Megan right now. But everybody else. It's like, God dang. Like, can y'all calm it down? Calm it down.
I think that's hilarious. But with Alicia Keys, when they're like, oh, I wouldn't if that was my wife. Also, you ain't married to anybody like Alicia Keys. You really think if you were married to her, you could like kind of control her? The woman has won awards. She has like platinum albums. But yeah, she's gonna listen to you.
Well, what's funny is though, like people were saying like if I was Swiss Beats, whatever. I'm like, y'all ain't gonna come for Usher, because I feel like if it wasn't a choice, Usher is to blame. He came to her. It's not the other way around. He walked his ass over there and started, wrapping his arms around her, touching her hips and stuff. Like, y'all ain't gonna give Usher.
And also, they're performing. Exactly, they're performing. They're performing My Boo. They're performing a song that they've been friends for over 20 years.
Him and Swiss probably go to barbecues together. They probably good friends.
And they're performing a song, and it's not like they was making out on the stage. Some people do that in their music videos. Yeah. When they have significant others.
Like they are friends. I'm sure that Swiss Beats was like knew all about it and did not care. He's like, y'all are performing. Do what you do. Make the performance dope.
And it's Usher. You shouldn't expect anything less from Usher.
Although it did make me laugh because I was telling my dad, I'm telling you now, he's going to sing one of these songs and that shirt's coming off, all right? He's going to let all the ladies in the audience see the ass. And sure enough, as soon as I said that, he started taking stuff off. I was like, see, I told you, them abs coming now. He's taking the shirt off.
After all these years, he still got them abs. He still got that.
He's he's got
So,
the
like,
moves, man. He still was
yeah.
doing the damn thing. He was dancing. He looks great
The
for his
skates.
age. He had skates on even. He was out there on roller skates.
No, I should YouTube the halftime show. It sounds like
It was good.
Her
And then
came
he
out
brought out
there
her.
and played
He brought out
guitar.
her.
Yeah, she was shredding.
She was great. I wanted her to sing though, but I'm
I
like,
did
what's she
too.
gonna sing?
Yeah, like she didn't sing anything. Lil Jon was there though, and Ludacris, and Will I Am. He got all of them together, everybody together. For all his songs.
those I did see. Yeah, well, I saw them on like TikTok, of course, and they're like, "Oh, Lil Jon just made like another 3 million." Just saying, yeah, again. Which I
Apparently
respect. Yeah,
He's supposed to be coming out with a meditation album soon.
A meditation.
like
album.
like that's what it's called, or like a legit meditation.
We don't know. That's all he said. He's like, I'm releasing an album that is strictly going to be just like soothing meditation.
I mean, a lot of the meditation things I've heard is a lot of repetition. So, kind of, you just focus on his.
I guess in
Why
his
though?
mind, if Andre can put out a flute album, I can put out a meditation album.
Andre put out a flute album.
Andre 3000? Yeah, that was his last album last year. In fact, it was his album debut. Solo album debut, flute album.
Did he sing it all, or is this just flute music?
It's
I don't-
strictly
so-
flute.
I don't really listen to I like listen to whatever I have going on Spotify. I'll click a random playlist, or like choose a song and just let like whatever song follows afterward. So when people like tell me about music nowadays, I'm like, it's not real. That's the way things are in the music world. They can't be, because I remember being younger and then being like, all right, people are weird. Most of the time, people now are on drugs or drunk. Fine. But now you got Andre doing flute music and Lil Jon doing a meditation album and Beyonce going country. And like, what's going on here?
Here, let me
When
read for
when
you
did I come into what happened to music?
A few of the track listings here. All right, first album, or first song on the album. This is the whole title of the track. The track
Of
is
Meditation?
I swear no for Andre
flute
3000's flute album. First track is I swear I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. Whole title of the whole track. Second track. The slang word pussy rolls off the tongue with far better ease than the proper word vagina. Period. Do you agree? Question mark. It's 2 sentences.
This is giving like early Fall Out Boy vibes, where they were like, our lawyer made to change the song, or like.
Here's the third track. That night in Hawaii when I turned into a panther and started making these low register purring tones that I couldn't control. ... Shit was wild.
I feel like that one should have stayed personal.
Well,
one
wasn't
you
Andre
should.
3000? Because Andre 3000 was the one who recently said, when asked about like, hey, will you like make another album like when you're like actually rapping? And his response was like, probably not, because I'm old and I don't really have anything to rap about. That was his response to like that question.
I mean,
so
it's
I'm
fair.
assuming that
He's like,
You know
if
what?
you got nothing to say, don't like that's you know what I mean? Like don't force it.
I can respect that, because like, he's like living a really, really comfortable life now with very little conflict. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna put out a flute album. It's like how Eminem only comes out now when somebody disses him.
That's when
Like, he
makes his
comes
best
out of the
music is when he's angry.
Yeah, like when he only comes out of the woodwork, he's like, somebody's coming after me again. Okay, let me go roast them. He's like trying to enjoy his life, just relaxing, making albums with other artists, and then somebody just insults him out of the blue. And it's always like the up and coming artists too, that like, you have been on the scene for maybe 4 years. What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to go for him? Like, look at his track. You like start a little lower. You know what's gonna happen. He bullied Machine Gun Kelly into a whole new genre.
Jerome, how is yours?
Well, I'll start by actually answering the real question, Alex, you asked. The movies they announced during the Super Bowl were Twisters. Finally got a trailer out for Twisters. It looks like
Wicked.
Twister. I mean...
What? The sequel to a movie about tornadoes is about tornadoes, so it kind of looks similar to
No.
tornadoes?
It's more like it looks like it is like, even though it's supposed to be a sequel, it looks like a remake. down to like Glenn Powell plays like a cowboy-esque tornado chaser. There's a lady who's more of the one who takes tornadoes very seriously and clearly has trauma around tornadoes.
The guy from Nope is in it. The
yeah,
one who plays the Fry's employee.
I love that you don't know his name.
Well, I know his name.
What is it? Don't look it up. What is his name?
No. Brandon.
It's
Brandon Perea.
Like
Brandon Perea.
Yeah, I was like, doesn't he have like kind of a really white first name for a Spanish last name? Brandon.
But yeah, I'm just saying it looks like a remake of Twister. Although, I mean, I think Glenn Powell is a good pick for that because he does feel like Bill Paxton. He has a Bill Paxton-y vibe of like the cowboy.
So a very generic white man.
Bill Paxton is a standout. All right, don't do that to Bill Paxton. All right,
Bill Paxton looks like there was another actor that everybody got confused with Bill Paxton all the time.
Bill Murray.
No.
No.
Bill Murray. Because we said this earlier about Samuel L. Jackson, how he's always been older. He's never looked young. Bill Murray is the same way. I don't think I've seen him young, ever.
You haven't seen Stripes?
He still kind of looks old to me in that. But then again, no, I watched that movie when I was quite young. So, of course, he looked much older to me. I have not seen that movie in my adulthood.
Yeah.
Where he's probably closer to my actual age range, and it's like, oh, I don't like that.
Ghostbusters, I would say. Or probably Caddyshack. Or not, Caddyshack probably.
I've never watched Caddyshack. It looks too stupid. It looks stupid.
Pretty silly, but it's a great movie. It's classic. But yeah, so we got Twisters. Quiet. We already talked about A Quiet Place Day 1. We also got it was one that I actually am excited about. Deadpool and Wolverine also got announced, which actually looks really good. And I think what's really interesting is that a lot of people are like, so this is going to be the movie to save Marvel, right? Because it looks so good. Most people are like, this is restored a little bit of faith in the Marvel brand, but mainly not because of anything Marvel's done, just because it looks like it is Ryan Reynolds is running the show and actually making the movie people want to see, which is great. So I'm really excited for Deadpool and Wolverine now. A lot more than I was.
I think they need to just accept the MC universe is dead now. They gotta let it go. They watch the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, fine, but like watch it in its own. Don't be an MCU movie. Just let it go, because God help me, they're gonna keep coming with these phases, and like it needs to die. The fact that these studios are making phases that are all supposed to be
I don't know why you're so amazed by that. They've always been doing that. Literally before even the second phase started.
There was it was smaller. Now it's like, here are 3 shows, 5 movies. We're going to have them all there, and here's all of them list by list going into 10 years. I'm going to have to keep seeing this shit for 10 years? No.
Not 10.
Just let it go.
They've gone up to about like 4 in the last 4 years. We don't know anything past, I think, 2025, I think.
But they still have more. They have more. They're prepared.
They do. I'm sure they do.
So it's going to be like another 10 years of dealing with this. And then everybody complaining. It's not like it was before. It's not like, oh, no, it wasn't. Get over it. Move on.
See, but here's the difference. It can be like it was before. They're just not making the decisions to allow it to be.
It can't be, because it was more like fresh and new and like, yeah, this is really cool. Now it's like they're choosing obscure ones because they don't have any fresh ideas, and it's easy to manipulate the obscure characters out of their like comic book references because nobody knows about them, so they can just make the characters how they want.
Guardians is great. Nobody knew anything about the Guardians before, or liked the Guardians for that matter, before they made that movie, and now they're one of the biggest comic franchises, so it can work. I think Marvel has the capability to do it. They just need to get off of the high horse up. But we're Marvel and we can't do no wrong. It's like, no, still continue to hire people who know what they're doing. It's why people are excited for this Deadpool movie. Because Ryan Reynolds and team know what they're doing.
I think it's just going to end up being one of those movies. You don't say like, oh yeah, it's not going to be like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse where it's like, yeah, the quality is great. You're going to be like, that movie was funny and it was fun to watch with my friends. And that's what we're gonna get from that movie. I enjoyed it to be with my friends. The Deadpool Wolverine. It's just
I think Madam Web's about to flop. But anyways,
of course it will. But also,
yeah, absolutely.
Legit surprise. Wicked was a legit surprise.
Wicked.
I did not expect the trailer for Wicked. Yeah.
Did it look good?
Oh yeah,
it looks good.
The only thing I have to say,
high budget. Like the budget looks high.
Because MGM's making it. They spend a lot of money on their movies. But I will say this though. The only thing, and it's nobody's fault. It's just a weird thing from my brain. Clearly, Cynthia Erivo is older than Ariana Grande, and it shows. I know they're trying, and the characters of Alphaba and I forget what the Glinda, they're supposed to be like the same age because they're both in like high school or I guess magic school, whatever. And it's just weird. It's distracting for me that Cynthia Erivo, like even with the green makeup, still clearly looks like she's an adult, like in her like late
with
30s
the green makeup, she's
compared to Ariana Grande.
With the green makeup, she's supposed to age because it's like Bad Witch makes you ugly and you age and you look horrible. So with the green makeup, it would have made sense that she looks suddenly older. But out of the green makeup, if she was looking like twice the character's age, then we got an issue. Or twice the age of like her opposite.
Yeah, it's that's why I say it's a me thing. It's not that the movies. I'm sure the cast is amazing. I love Cynthia Erivo in anything she's in, so I'm sure she'll do a great job. I just like it's just a me thing of like she's old. She looks older than what the character should be. But still, though, the trailer looks amazing. It looks really good. I'm excited for Wicked a lot more than I thought I would be because I honestly forgot it was even coming out. So that looks good. I hope it is not because the original title was Wicked Part 1. Apparently.
Well, it's still going to be a Part 1.
Okay, so it is still going to be Part 1.
It's going to be The Wicked.
That's the Part 1s. They keep coming.
They didn't combine them into one movie. It's still going to be Part 1.
Yeah. I mean, there is literally the play and the book is split into like two very distinct sections of time, so that makes sense. Also, the other legit surprise because I forgot it was coming out. We also got an official trailer of Kingdoms of the Planet of the Apes, which also looks pretty good. I love the Planet of the Apes movies, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes looks phenomenal. Can't wait to see it.
I think we also got one for the Ryan Gosling movie, The Fall Guy.
That one didn't come out during the game, but they did have a Super Bowl TV spot for it. I'm not excited for Fall Guy that much.
I thought this movie already came out.
What's the?
But I think I confused it with the other one that Ryan Gosling was in on Netflix.
Oh, The Gray Man.
Yeah.
Which also,
so it's got that energy. Okay.
I mean, basically, the Fall Guy. This one, he's like a stunt man, and he goes on an adventure to win the love and affection of this one of the director of the movie he's working on, played by Emily Blunt.
Is there a movie where Ryan Gosling doesn't try so hard to win the affection of a woman? Because
that's a lot of action movies, though, and dramas. It's not just him.
Some action films they meet the love and they're trying to protect. Ryan Gosling's characters tend to do these massive grand gestures. I mean,
and Ryan Gosling has been in a lot of wide ranging movies,
and it's always true. I'm going to do this one amazing thing and make Barbie, her love me. Yeah,
Crazy Stupid Love, First Man. 2049, Blade Runner.
Well, also, you gotta admit, it's because of the Notebook effect. He was in that movie, and ever since then, they've kind of typecast him to be that guy.
It's so... Yeah, and they just put it in different genres. What is it? Same wording, different font?
But, I mean, other than that, though, I am excited for all the movie news, but other than that, I'm doing fine. Doing good. I've just been mostly... watching some content, playing a lot of video games. I beat Baldur's Gate. Now I'm replaying it again with new stuff going on. And also started replaying The Last of Us Part 2 because the remaster just came out. a few weeks ago, and I still don't think the story's told correctly. I like the story for Last of Us 2. I think it is one of the best video game stories of all time. I just don't think it works for what they're trying to do. And I won't spoil it for you, Alex, because I know you want to watch Last of Us Season 2, which they just announced. They just cast Abby, who's a big character in Last of Us Part 2. Although I don't agree with the casting, but not because the actress is bad, but because Abby in the game is like this hulking like big woman. She's like easily maybe like 6 feet tall, muscled up soldier. And then they hired I forget her name, but this like dainty woman who I'm sure she's gonna work out and get fit for the role. But I'm like, unless you take a steroid, you're not gonna get to Abby size. Like, there's no way.
Maybe that's what she's gonna do.
I mean, who knows? Maybe.
I know her life. You know what she's gonna do. How far she'll take her role. How seriously she'll.
I mean, listen.
That's what they said Zac Efron did for.
You want to talk about the
Ironclaw.
biggest shame? He didn't get nominated for the Oscar. I was like, that man put his body on the line for that, and y'all ain't gonna give him the Oscar? Know what I'm saying?
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list.
I am too. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more wrestling, less sad, and then I think Jerome, you told me how it's more more story than it is about wrestling, and then I was like, oh, it's a bummer.
By the way,
okay, so there's not
I've seen
that
her
much
stuff
different.
before.
She just needs to get some arms.
look at this woman. Though. Look at her. Look how big she is.
She was in Booksmart.
Yeah, she
I never
was.
saw that movie.
Yeah, Caitlin Dever, I think is how you pronounce her name. But Abby is a monster of a woman in a good way. Like, she's dope. I love you play as her in The Last of Us Part 2, and she is like super strong. She's super cool. You feel like a badass when you're playing as her. And I'm sorry, Caitlin. Like, these arms, I don't know if these arms are gonna get that size. I don't know if she's gonna get like, you know what I mean? I don't know if she's gonna look like this when the show comes out.
He said, "I'm sorry, Caitlin."
I'm just saying, she might surprise me.
Swipes. Yeah, I think she just. I mean, they actually have pretty similar face structures.
They do.
Yeah, in the face, she looks exactly like Abby.
Yeah, and I will say that with The Last of Us, I do like how they find people with such like the face structures like match so well.
I mean,
and
for
that what
me,
makes
maybe they gonna
connected.
bulk her up with prosthetics or CGI or something.
I don't know if I'd like that because that's gonna be hard. Although I think she should play. If anything, I would think she'd play adult Ellie. Yeah,
I can see that.
Like, that's what I think when I saw the casting list, I'm like, she looks more like Ellie than she does Abby. I would think she would be cast as Ellie, like an adult version of Ellie.
Yeah, I could see that. I never saw Booksmart. I saw like a scene from it or something. I'm really tired of like coming of age films where people find themselves.
I feel like they haven't really been out lately.
Although Florence Pugh would have been great. She would have been great casting as Abby, but I'm sure she's very busy. I don't think she would have had the time. Yeah. But yeah, so regardless, I'm playing Last of Us 2. It's a lot of fun for me to get back into the game. The gameplay is hard. It's very brutal, literally so brutal. Whenever you kill people, they always call out the name, like they're like when you're being hunted. When you kill people, they're like, Tony, no! All of them have names. Every single person you murder. And the AI in that game is so elaborate to the point where there's points where you'll be like doing your missions, like doing stealth or whatever, trying to kill people. And they'll be having a conversation like, man, where do you think this girl is? I don't know. But when we find her, like, they're having a whole conversation. If you kill somebody in the middle of that conversation and they don't get a response back from the person they were just talking to, they will be like, Craig? Hey, y'all, something happened to Craig. like they will hunt you down.
God.
It's a very elaborate game with a really cool systems like that. They send dogs after you, and you have to move because the dogs, if you try to travel through the grass, they pick up your scent and they find you.
Not dogs.
It's a very sad game if you're
after you.
It's a very sad game if you're a pet lover because you do have to kill the dogs.
Oh God, I can't do it. I like couldn't even like. The cat kept dying in the game Stray when I was trying to play the character, and I couldn't do it. I had to give you back the remote. I'll be like, save the cat. I have a son that looks like him. Where's my son?
Well,
at my
speaking
son.
of beloved, speaking of beloved pets in media that go through a lot, Argylle.
That's right, audience. Here we go. We're finally there. You made it 44 minutes into the, or actually a little less than that into the recording, and now you finally at the
For a
Argylle
literal second, I was like, "Who you calling a pet?" Like, but then I remember the cat. I was like, I know you do your like lead-ins well, but I was like, I think you just insulted somebody. But I remember the cat. I remember the cute cat.
Yes, Argylle. We are reviewing the film today. Argylle, a 2024 spy action comedy film, directed, produced by Matthew Vaughn, who you may know, who directed the Kingsman films. Mm-hmm. Features ensemble cast of Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, Henry Cavill, Sophia Boutella, Dua Lipa, Ariana DeBose, John Cena, and Samuel L. Jackson. And among others. And basically the synopsis, a reclusive author who writes espionage novels about a secret agent and a global spy syndicate realizes the plot of the new book she's writing starts to mirror real-world events in real time. Basically, if this is, it's new year, new us, but it's same old formatting. And basically what we do a non-spoiler section. We talk about our general thoughts. Did we like the movie? Did we not? And then we go into spoilers. Mm-hmm. So this is the non-spoiler section right now. Jerome, what did you think of Argylle?
I don't know if you want to start with me because this is going to set the tone of the review.
Let's start. Let's start.
This movie is a lot of things in one basket, but I think the best way to describe it is this movie is trash. This movie is trash. Okay. I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt because I like Matthew Vaughn a lot. I think he's a really good director. Granted, he didn't write this movie. He's just the director here. But I like a lot of his movies, especially the Kingsman movies. I didn't like 2 as much as I like Kingsman 1, but nonetheless, I thought Kingsman 2 was pretty all right. I really like
Kingsman
Kick-Ass.
2 hits you in the heart, though. Everybody swings the Virginia song for a while after that movie.
Oh, well, yeah, the song, yes, in Kingsman 2, yeah.
I thought Kingsman 2 was a little more campy, which I appreciated. And I loved that campier. I loved that country western style version of Word Up when they were doing the fight scene. I really liked that.
I mean, hey, to its credit, it did bring Pedro Pascal back into people's, because up until that point, I think people weren't really thinking about him except for people watching Narcos and remembered he was in Game of Thrones. So that movie, put him back on the map, I feel like, for a lot more people to see him. And then from there, it's just the Pedro Pascal explosion.
Oh, yeah. There's an edit that went around TikTok. I think it got 10 million likes or something of Pedro Pascal. And it started with that whole Kingsman scene.
Mm-hmm. But this movie, this was a rough watch. It's been a long time since I've had a movie where I've been like, can you just end? I want to go home. Because the movie consistently, here's the problem. The problem is the script. And the main problem with the script is these twists, man. The movie's twists start to get so redundant and dumb, and the conveniences of a lot of the I'm not spoiling anything. I'm saying the conveniences of how a lot of characters get out of these situations sometimes borders on just the most lazy writing I have seen in a long time. Not to mention the character moments and some of the editing in this is not great. One thing in particular, and we'll get to it in regards to the editing in the spoiler section. But it's just, and that's probably but the most I could say without spoiling too much. The movie just has it struggles. It struggles to keep up with itself. It loses focus as the movie continues. It only gets worse as it hits the end, especially with the ending. The ending, especially, I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because the movie starts as this like interesting spy movie, and I was down for the premise. I think the premise is great. And but then it just like slowly turns from this like really interesting like mystery / spy movie to becoming this like really contrived cartoon at the end of it. So that's my thoughts, general thoughts without getting into spoilers. Don't waste your time with this one, fam. And then on top of that, if there's nothing else, also, I hate this movie more than anything else for it having a mid-credit scene that brings down another movie along with it. It can't go into the trash by itself. It's got to bring with it somebody else along the way, pulling them down too. And I was like, that's a damn shame. You gonna do this to them. So, there we go.
Alex.
I saw the movie with Jerome and his girlfriend. And, I enjoyed their company when watching this film. I will say I had fun. I was laughing continuously during this film. Was it for the actual scenes? No, it was not.
That's true. We did laugh a lot, but not at the scenes that we were supposed to laugh at.
Yeah, there were just moments where you just couldn't help. And it was the lines. For this movie, I will say there is a lot of one-liners for no reason. And so I did have fun watching it. It was stupid. It was a stupid movie. It was a movie that was like, if you found every spy cliche and put it into a film, but took it more seriously. Because there are there was a Naked Gun. Okay, Naked Gun's just a bunch of cliches, but they're mocking it openly as a parody. This movie, had they leaned into it almost just a little bit more, would have been a parody. But they decided not to and try to, I guess, make it. I don't know if they tried to. I don't know what they were doing. But it's a spy cliche movie with a cute cat. The cat's adorable. It's got the little folded ears.
It's Matthew Vaughn's cat, so I hear. That's his personal cat.
They put the cat through a lot. Oh, so the cat looks CGI through most of the movie.
I think the cat was CGI for like the whole film.
For most of the film, there is a few scenes where it is a real cat, and they're very few and in between. Most of the time,
I think that you should just commit to the CGI cat. Like, if it's like a majority.
I mean, it's still need to base it off something,
Well, I guess, but still, I mean, the cat was cute, and I did laugh. Oh, I hit my mic. I did laugh quite a bit. So I had fun. It was a stupid movie, but I had fun. It's an enjoyable time. I had an enjoyable experience with this film, and I can say that at least. What about you, Jonathan?
I second Alex's sentiments in that it was an enjoyable time. I had, I wouldn't say don't waste your time with it because it was fun. It was fun watching the movie, and it was entertaining in the sense that like it got so absurd at a point. In that it was almost a parody. It was almost kind of like watching the one show that we watched, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Guy in the Window, and she's
yeah.
I can't remember the full name of the
the
show.
Woman in the House across the street from the girl, or no, the girl in the window across the street from the woman in the house, or whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
The woman, something like that.
Something like that.
But it almost got to that point where it was so twisty. There were so many twists. At the beginning, it was like, oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. Oh, so now this person is bad. Oh, now they're good. Okay, now they're bad again. Oh, no. Oh, now they're good. Okay, they're good for real. Oh, no, they're bad. So it was like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Exactly.
Yeah.
But... And I have to say, I like Bryce Dallas Howard. But during the middle of the movie, I was like, this perform. I think I was chalking it up to the writing. I wasn't gonna blame her. I'm like, this is not good writing for her character specifically. At like out of everyone, it is showing on her character the most. And then I blamed it a little bit on her. I'm like, girl, you could sell this performance a little more. And then we got to like the twisty stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, I can see how you played the character, knowing that there was something that was gonna happen that was gonna twist your character up a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know if it made up for it. But overall, I did have a good time watching this movie. I don't regret that I watched it, and I just had a good time watching it. It was fun.
I told you, Alex. Didn't I say verbatim? That's what he was going to say when we were at the theater.
No, you said,
I knew you were, and I knew you would say something like that too.
I mean, technically, I said the same thing because it's like I had a good time. I found myself laughing. I did enjoy moments where I was like, all right, I'm having fun. Were they at the moments where they were trying to place him? Probably not. But the joy was there. The fun was there. I'm I'm also looking for this actress. I kept thinking about let's jump into spoilers and I can go into it and maybe you guys can help me.
Well, jumping into spoilers, so that's our general audience. That's our general thoughts audience. This whole
general
got
audience.
Me so angry, I can't even get my words together. Anyway, that's our general thoughts segment. We got 2 lukewarms and 1 absolutely cold. Comment below, tell us what you thought, before we get to the spoilers. But if you don't want to be spoiled, we're going into the spoiler section, which means that you should pause this if you don't want to be spoiled, watch the movie, then come back and listen to the rest of this podcast goodness, because you're not going to want to miss what we have to say. But if you don't care about spoilers, here we go.
So I want to first pose this question. Pose this question.
Again, audience, we've been gone for a little bit, but so.
Right. I want to pose this question to Alex. Alex.
Mm-hmm.
After she said, forget the cat, we can leave the cat, did you just say, okay, you can die now? To Bryce Dallas Howard's character.
I think I actually did turn to Jerome and I was like, I would have gone back. I would have died with that cat. I would have gone. I think I did say that. I was like, how are you leaving the cat? How can you do that? How can you leave them behind? Look at that man. He just turned away, but he knows.
Do you think if you were Bryce Dallas Howard's character in this movie, how do you think Cheddar would have fared as your sidekick?
So, funny enough, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. I think it was actually last Friday. The alarm went off in my building. It was the fire alarm. So we actually had to evacuate. Cheddar has no chill. I put that man in a bag. We were standing outside. He kept trying to fight his way out. Like he's trying to go back to the streets for some reason. Like he can survive it or something. And
get a bubble backpack like Bryce Dallas Howard.
I actually got it. So I originally had one for Snowball, my first cat, that actually looked like a Pokeball. I loved it. But it was for a smaller cat, so I got him like this kind of cheap, honestly. I got a new one that's the bubble so you can view him, and it hangs off the backpack, because that would have been easier, because I'm just holding him on my shoulder. Oh, he's like, let me out. I'm like, you need to stop it. All right, I'm in I was working from home that day, so I'm also in my pajama pants. I'm outside. It's cold. I got a cat. I look like a crazy cat lady hanging outside a building. And I was like, great. That's fine. All the firefighters are here. I rolled out of bed literally to start working. So that was a fun time. So he's not a sidekick cat. He's very much a house cat. Because again, he looks like a rotisserie chicken right now. So Cheddar, absolutely not. He is too spoiled and pampered. He would not survive all that, running around and everything like that. He could not handle. With the one thing I kept thinking about with the cat, And I know in comedies and like, or in like movies and things, they don't show really people going to the bathroom or anything or ever needing to go to the bathroom. But I'm like, they kept feeding that cat because they're like showing people, kitty's eating, you know, it's safe, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there's no litter box. You have not let it out of the bag for like 48 hours. Like, I'm sure that thing needs to use the bathroom. No litter box anywhere. So that's what I was thinking.
That backpack is just full of poop and pee.
Just stinking.
Not a good backpack.
The whole time.
So
well, my thing with the cat. Sorry, this is my last thing about the cat, and we can move on. But when when the bag gets shot, and the little glass the
dome
bubble
the dome gets shot, it gets shot in pieces, which means it's glass. Why is that a glass thing on the backpack? Why is it not plastic?
it should be plastic. It looks plastic. The one
it might be hard plastic because there's hard plastic that's similar to glass, but it's not actually glass.
But it wouldn't shatter the way it shattered because the one I had for Snowball, it looks exactly like that, but like it looks more like a Pokeball because I was like, this is cool. So it has a little dome. I've dropped that thing so many times, and no cracks or anything. It gets scuffed, so it's like a really hard plastic. It would not shatter the way it looked in the movie, where it like blew up everywhere and it was like glitter all of a sudden.
I mean, listen,
so
she likes bougie stuff, all right? Hers is made of glass.
But that's so dangerous. You drop that thing on the floor with the cat in it. The cat gets stabbed in the eye.
We're talking about a woman who's so scared of everything, she won't even date a man. She's getting easy layups of dates. I mean, dudes are basically throwing themselves at her, and she can't risk it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, first of all,
she's not going to
She was brain wiped. She was brain wiped.
She's not even in a place to possibly gonna put herself in any type of danger for that glass to ever break in any way, shape, or form.
Wouldn't. If she's so cautious, she wouldn't have chose a bag with glass. That's a safety concern.
She can protect it. She's like, I'll be fine, and so will the cat.
Well, cat got kidnapped. I thought the cat was cute. It was a random.
I need to know why it was in CGI for so much of it. There's a point where Sam Rockwell, all he's doing is petting the cat on a table. I'm like, why is the cat CG for that? You could have just got the regular cat.
No, the one that's like very much like, I don't know why they didn't use the real cat was the ending where he's sitting in the chair, the cat's in his lap. You can tell he's not petting anything. Mm-hmm. He's just going like this.
When Ariana, I was about to say Ariana Grande. Ariana DeBose is holding the cat. You can clearly tell she's just going like this with her hand. She's not holding anything.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ariana DeBose, she was a cameo in this movie, and she was
she don't deserve to be on that damn poster.
She was on all the posters.
Her or Dua Lipa. They get about the same amount of screen time.
I
knew that. Sorry.
Forgot Dua Lipa was in the movie while watching the movie. Because she was in there for like 5 minutes, and then Jerome said something about Dua Lipa, and I was like,
I thought the like agent lady, when they're like, oh, it's the keeper of secrets. I'm like, okay, so everybody else is coming to play. Maybe that's Dua Lipa, but in like real life, which is why they go back to the temple where she's at. Or where she was in the beginning of the movie. Like that temple set is the same set from the beginning of the movie. I'm like,
no, because they were like in Greece before.
No, they were in the same place. They were in Greece. They were in Greece, but they did like the same dance and stuff like that. Is what I mean.
Well, yeah, that's because that was her move.
Yeah, the whirly bird, and so I thought that was gonna be their way to use her more in the movie, but no, it's Sophia Boutella. For some reason.
I knew that Dua Lipa wasn't going to be in the movie for long, and that they were just using her on all the posters and stuff so that they would get the Dua Lipa fans to watch this movie. But it didn't work. The movie flopped, and now Dua Lipa, like, because this happened, because wasn't she, what else? Yeah, she was in the Barbie movie as well. Yeah. And she had all of 3 lines in that movie as well.
She got more than 3 lines in this movie, but you know.
Not
by
more
much.
than like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Argylle
was-
DeBose's character, she's the reason this movie is getting an F from me today. Because
Spoiler alert.
and it's not her fault. It's not her fault at all. It's because of the writing. Because she's a character that I'm like, she was in the fantasy. And also, this is why it doesn't make sense. Why is she the only character from the fantasy novels that gets to be in real life? Henry Cavill don't exist.
they
Dua Lipa
explain
don't
that.
exist.
They explained that, though.
I know they explained it, that all of these people
So they did.
are, have
No, because that was the only character they didn't have to make up because she's dead, and they were like, oh, we don't have to fake her. My thing with Henry Cavill, I'm gonna just jump right into that. They did that man so dirty with his hair
The flat
during
top.
the whole movie.
The flat top.
In the posters and the it doesn't look that bad
It doesn't.
until you see it on screen. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck? Why? Why did you do that to him?
Because like the first line of this movie is Dua Lipa being like, "Oh, I didn't realize someone so fashionable was here," and I'm like, "Bitch, do you not see his hair? What are you talking about?"
His outfit too.
The marketing of this movie was smart because you think that the Argylle book cast is going to be the main cast of the movie, but no, the story is actually about Bryce Dallas Howard.
Well,
and Mark. What's his name?
Sam Rockwell.
Mark. What's his name?
Mark.
What's his
Sam Rockwell's character?
Sam Rockwell. That's.
I'm about to say, who the hell is Mark? Because there's not a Mark in this movie at all.
What is his name though?
Sam Rockwell?
No, Sam Rockwell's character. No,
Aiden.
It's Aiden. Yeah, Aiden.
that's how bad it was. We don't remember one of the main characters' names. Because I had to look it up right now. Like I'm looking at the
Jonathan, I will
list.
say, did you see the posters for this? Or not posters. Did you see the trailer for this movie, Jonathan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I saw the trailer in.
'Cause I was gonna say in the trailer, the first trailer, they tell you that they're not the main cast, that they're just book characters.
Oh well,
Oh,
I
did
saw
they?
the
I
one
didn't see
where
that.
they showed the dance, where they were showing the.
There's
dance.
like a TV spot that is like that's like the they're like here's a scene from Argylle, but all the marketing was like they're not the real characters. It's Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell and like all the official trailers.
Well, on the movie poster, Henry Cavill is front and center. Dua Lipa is right next to him. Samuel L. Jackson is next to her, and then Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell are in the third row.
It's true. I don't understand the marketing behind this movie because although the smart thing would have been to market it that way, like they're the main cast and Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell are like other people, but I guess that's not the actual premise of the movie, and also. That'd be pretty hard because the book sections are literally only in the beginning, in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then after that the movie completely changes from that point, and we never go back to the books except for that one scene when he's talking to the diplomat, and it's very clear that it's like a book.
They could have, which they kind of did. They leaned on Henry Cavill a lot, where they could have just kept that where it looked like he was like the main person. And it's like, he's like, oh, you're real. Which they kind of did make him real near the end. And they gave him
that's true. With that they gave him another terrible wig.
They gave him curls and a mullet. Like, why? Why are you doing this to him? Who did he piss off?
I think that's too funny. But it's just like, Henry Cavill. But here's the thing. The whole... I hated every, and not because of Henry Cavill. How they included him in the movie of this, Henry Cavill, that's Agent Argylle is your subconscious trying to fight through to get you to learn your real life. And I'm like, are you fucking... Look, if you you paid for Henry Cavill to be a fictional character in this movie, just let him be in the first 5 minutes and drop him off. All right?
Because Henry Cavill is billed first in the poster. And they do
it by who appears first. But also, he's
the first name on the.
That's
poster.
true. He's considered which is weird because I'm I guess if you look at this list, he is the most famous person out of this cast right now, technically.
he's more on top than most of these characters. I mean, it's not that saying none of these characters are, famous or like are well known.
They all
had
have
amazing careers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, all of them have done great
They're
things.
just banking on who's hot
careers.
right now.
Right.
That's what I mean by like he's like the hottest actor.
He's the one who has the most attention on him right now. Sorry,
I was just gonna say real quick. That's why they put Dua Lipa at front. It's like what they did with Cardi B and Lizzo and Hustlers, and acted like they were the main part of the cast when they was only in one.
Yeah,
scene.
they only get like they're only the beginning of the movie, and even then they only get like 5 minutes each.
Really, again with Henry Cavill, and I think we should then talk about. I want to talk about Sam Rockwell's character, Henry Cavill, as the self-esteem. Also, I thought it was. I was so. I don't want to say bothered, but it was kind of an eye-rolling moment when the character would flirt with her. When she would like see him in the mirror or like reflections and stuff like that, like he was kind of flirty, and it's like, are you flirting with yourself? Is your self-conscious? Are you flirting with yourself? Like, what was the point of that then?
That got annoying for me too, and I get the idea of her like seeing Sam Rockwell do these action sequences.
No, that was different. That's not what I'm talking about.
I know that's not what you're talking about,
like,
but I'm saying like the constant like her POV, and then you get to see Argylle both like in the mirror and everything.
Yeah,
I got tired of it real fast, and mostly because it just like it drug on for so long of Henry Cavill being like her quote unquote subconscious trying to get through to her, and I'm like and you only learn that like much later. Yeah. So up until that point, you're like, is this a hallucination? Is this like, is he actually there? What's happening?
It just bothered me that when he got flirty with her, and like when it revealed it was just her inner self, and it's like, well, clearly you have the self-confidence in you.
Yeah, it's her clear. In more ways than one. We'll get there. Sam Rockwell.
I think he did as good as he could in this movie, but also I had not realized how much Sam Rockwell had aged. It took me by complete shock that I tapped you, Jerome, and I was like, he's old. Was he always like he got old all of a sudden?
I thought he looked, because like he's 55. I didn't realize he was that old.
I didn't know he was that old, but I'm like, he looks older than the last time I saw him in anything. Like the aging process was there. He didn't look like old, but like you are no longer.
Especially when he's wearing the Argylle getup and he has the flat top hair. I was like, can y'all please stop with this damn haircut? Please.
Whose decision was that? Why a flat top? Who?
I get it for Argylle because the idea is he's supposed to look more or less like a cartoon character, so that they, for the action figures and stuff, which I was like, that's kind of cool. That makes sense. But I'm like, okay, this is the real world though. Why does he still look like Argylle in the real world? Also, especially when you find out the twist later of who Argylle actually is.
That twist was so stupid. That was one of the scenes where I laughed out loud.
I rolled my eyes so hard, I'm sure they could hear it in the next theater.
Lieutenant R.
Something's going on outside Jonathan's apartment right now. I heard that.
Oh, spies are coming for Jonathan.
Literally.
Are you safe? We
Sorry,
good?
I'm curious. No, I'm
right?
kidding. I kind of want to look outside. Okay,
go look outside. Tell me what you see. I want to know.
Let's go.
Go
yeah, make sure everything's all right first.
I want to know what's going on. I am nosy as fuck. I do this at work all the time. I'm not involved in anything. I don't like being in drama, but I love knowing the drama. And my ass gets involved in everything. I just hear people shit talking. I move in really quick, and I'm like, who do we hate? I may not hate them personally, but I'm like,
loves drama now.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I'm constantly listening. They're so used to it now that when I just add my 2 cents in, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I was e-shopping. They're like, we know you were. It's fine. We know. What's going on?
I don't see anybody outside, but I heard somebody.
Demons. It's always demons.
Anyway.
What were you saying?
But yeah, the flat tops, they had to go.
For real. I mean, the only one who could rock it in this movie is John Cena. But that's unfair. He's had a flat top the entire time, okay?
But his flat top didn't look... Like, they gave Henry Cavill, like, a high flat... Ooh, shit. They gave Henry Cavill, like, a high flat top. So you really, like it was head. Pronounced. Yeah. His was, like, a little... Like, it was, like, cleaner. His was, like... It started, like, here, for some reason. It didn't start, like... They cut this really low, and then it really looks like the flat top starts from here and then up.
I don't...
Awful.
But I will say Sam Rockwell, I like his performance. I mean, he's Sam Rockwell. Same. He can kind of... It feels like he could do this performance in his sleep.
He was likable.
Yeah, he's very charming. He has a charm to him. Although, I will say that I think that's a part of it. Like, because even the ending, when, like, Bryce Dallas Howard's character is whooping his ass... And it's just like, oh, man, maybe she'll fight through the brainwashing. And he's like, nope, I'm just going to die. I'm like, are you... What the fuck? Fine, I guess. And then Ariana DeBose shows up out of nowhere and saves the day. Literally out of nowhere. There's no implication she was there the entire time. She hasn't been around since the beginning of the movie when she died in a fictional story. She's been nowhere to be seen. Until the very end of the movie to save the day because they realized, you know what? I'm tired of writing pages. Let's just finish this now and then you can go home and eat.
Technically, they did give that little forewarning. It didn't feel like a foreshadowing. It was a forewarning where she sent the email to Bryce's
about the
character.
most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, it's technically true. There's a little gap where your heart and like everything is, and you can just shoot directly to it. But here's the thing. It's also about the size of the bullet and like the exit wound, because they're like, oh, you stopped the bleeding. No. Actually, when you get shot, you don't really bleed from the entrance wound. It's the exit wound that you're actually bleeding out of. So you gotta take care of that, because that's where it goes and it makes it bigger. You know, like things get bigger because of the exit wound and the gunpowder and everything. It's gone through the little hole and now it's big. So it's like, he's still bleeding from the back because it was supposed to go clean through him. There's still blood. She's like, all you had to do is stop the bleeding. Also, you just put a handkerchief in his shirt. Not even really.
That's not the same.
All I know is Sam Rockwell's character put up with way too much with her in this movie. Like, there were way too many red flags. She shot him in the chest. She tried to kill him multiple times, and he's still like, oh, I'm still in love. I'm so in love with you.
It's in the world of spies, man. Things get messy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I would have been done with her in the first part of the film.
You didn't see that dance in the dust with all those smoke grenades of multicolors?
Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, so the thing I wanted to bring up.
I actually enjoyed that.
Oh my God!
I hated that scene. And not because it was bad.
No, Jonathan, I absolutely love you, Jonathan. But like the fact that you can see the fact that you see positivity in this movie even a little bit, I can't.
I didn't love that as much as I liked the scene where she is skating on the oil.
I was so
another bullshit scene. I hated that scene too.
Okay, but like no, that doesn't work that way, because one, it's not ice, it's like and two, you spark it, it's gonna blow up. So it's I'm trying to calm myself down. The blade is cutting through the oil and going on the concrete, which can create a spark and can catch the oil on fire. It's not ice, and it's ridiculous. She's like. Also, you put blades in your shoes. Those boots were not that thick. They would have gone through. If those knives were actually that sharp, it would have gone through the sole of your shoe and cut up your feet.
The fact
and
that
also,
pretty much
then she
that
started
whole scene
shooting.
was like
they were like, "Don't shoot, because you're going to light the oil." Then she starts firing like
the fact that whole scene was like CGI. It was basically like I was watching a cartoon, and that's how I treated it as. And I love cartoons. So.
Yeah. Oh, the thing I wanted to bring up near the end they dye her hair blonde, and they put her in this gaudy.
Which she looks
awful,
good in the blonde hair,
but the gaudy awful.
The hair, yes. I don't know about the dress.
Okay, so she looks like this one actress, and I can't think of her. But every time I saw her, I was like, she looks like that one actress who plays a lot of these roles where she has a messy life and down on her luck, and then she tries to figure it out and clean up her life. And she's just a blonde actress, and she plays like the homely characters. And I cannot think of it.
Kristen Bell?
No, she's Kristen Bell's smaller. She's a little bigger. She plays like really sloppy characters.
I was gonna say Amy Schumer.
It's like Amy Schumer's characters. I think she even had a
What has she been in?
That's the thing is I know her face.
Rebel Wilson?
No. Maybe she's blonde. It's that category of like a bit of a thicker woman, blonde hair. The characters are always sloppy in the beginning, and then they start slowly getting their life together. Oh, I'm going to start jogging. It's always starting to jog, and I'm going to eat healthy. And they have this whole revelation in the middle, and finally their self-confidence has risen, and they get a man. Because that's what every self...
That's very specific.
That's how those movies always play out for Amy Schumer, Rebel Wilson, and this other character. And I can picture her in a pink sweatsuit even, and I'll eventually find.
Are you thinking of that movie where the girl, she's like a little thicker, and she wants to like run a marathon? Is that the movie you're talking about? Because there's a movie about that.
Maybe. I actually think so. Yeah.
I think it's called. It's something. Somebody runs a marathon.
I mean, there's a couple like that. There's Run Fat Boy, like but they're with men. There's like
Brittany runs a marathon. Oh, is it Jillian Bell?
Oh, hold on. Let me look her up real quick.
Look up Brittany runs a marathon. Look up the poster. And she kind of looks like Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, that's
Bell.
her. Oh my God, that's her, and she's in the pink sweatsuit. Does that not look like her?
I was like, I knew what movie you were talking about.
Can we see her?
Yes.
There's that. If you look up Brittany runs a marathon, and it's her in the pink sweater with a cup of wine and Converse. She looked exactly like her when her hair was blonde. So much in certain points, especially when they were wearing the gas mask and you didn't like really see the hair. I was like, they got to be related some way somehow, because that is too much.
Sure, they're probably not.
It was too much. I was like, I think they just switched character. I think they switched actresses near the end. I swear.
Speaking of Bryce Dallas Howard, I thought she was. I like her acting in the beginning. I don't so much like her when she was the spy of like Rachel Kyle at the end. And
we're the opposite.
Like, and it's mostly because it feels like at the end, her way of playing spy is basically just to be stoic.
That's what
that's not versus with Ellie Conway. There's so much to her. She's happy. She's sad. She's concerned. She's brave. She's cowardly. Like there's so much to her in the beginning. I feel like compared to Argylle, where she's very
not the best.
It was not the best, but it was better than what she was when she was a spy. I could tell you that much.
So, okay. When she was Ellie, she annoyed the fuck out of me. I would have left her ass so quickly, but I understand she was needed. So she drove me crazy. And then when she turned into like Rachel, I understand what they were trying to go. It's that whole stoic, like, I'm really cool under pressure. But it's like, it didn't come off right. You can tell you were like faking it. It's like none of that felt real, or even felt like you were trying to be real with it. You were not cool. You were definitely just like gave teenage girl vibes. Whatever.
I liked when she went back to Ellie from Rachel. Like when she goes back into her like she doesn't go back into Ellie, but like she goes back into like
she goes back into a calmer version of Ellie.
Yeah. Not everything in my life before this happened was a lie.
Which to kind of symbolize that when she gets the cat back and shows that she still has a bit of Ellie in her. because she used to be a dog person, now she's a cat, so she's going with the cat, and it's like, I'm a little bit of both. I'll kick anybody's ass, but I'm also wearing a cat in a backpack. That poor cat, all I kept thinking was that poor cat's getting swung around, because there's the scenes where she's literally spinning in a circle, and there's that poor cat in the bag, probably fell in the velocity of all that's going on.
I love how you can see the Photoshop file when it's supposed to be the cat bouncing in the background.
Not
It's
the
just
Photoshop
a picture
file.
just going up and down like this. Because I'm like, there's no dimension to that cat. You thought we wouldn't see it, but we saw it.
And I love Catherine O'Hara, but when she put that British accent on,
Oh,
there was no
God.
reason.
When she changed up the accent, I was like, oh, no, Catherine, no. Oh, no. What happened?
Why are you doing that to us?
I just like that. Yeah. Her and Bryan Cranston both, they are wasted in this movie. Like, drastically. Bryan Cranston at least gets to kind of just play a character he's played before, of just like the generic bad guy. But Catherine O'Hara, like, I feel like she could have had more fun with the role if they didn't have her also doing accents and also being just straight up the Dr. Evil character, basically.
Yeah. I like Bryan Cranston's character. Out of all of them, he was actually my favorite character because they didn't make him too silly. Like, he was still kind of like, I know you're a bad guy, but you're not that scary, you know? But so they could have made him more silly, more ridiculous, and made that part of the movie like more ridiculous. But I like the level they gave him. He felt more kind of real in like a spy world, because sometimes they make the bad guy too like bad, and it's like, who's working for you? Nobody. He's just no fun to be around. But like, his character was like good. Also, Jonathan, have you ever seen the show Smallville with Clark Kent, WB?
No, I haven't watched it, but I know like
the black guy who did all the computer stuff for Brian's character. That was him. That was the only black guy in Smallville. The only black guy in that small town. Immediately I saw it, I was like, that's you. You look so much older, and I feel old because I remember watching you when I was a kid. You were a teenager. Now you like a grown-ass man, which makes me a grown-ass woman, and it's like too much.
Wait, what was his role in Argylle? What did he do?
He mainly did the computer stuff.
Guy,
he was a tech guy.
His assistant, Bryan
He
Cranston's
was the
assistant.
only one not killed in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the black guy survived.
No, he didn't. That whole boat blew up.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Unless he secretly like got off.
Unless he got to, to an escape pod or something.
Well, the black woman survived.
That's
she
true.
came with them.
No, I said the black woman survived at least.
Which black woman?
Are you talking about Ariana DeBose?
Yeah.
Well, she's Afro-Latino.
That's what I'm saying. She came with them. I'm talking about everybody else that was on the boat died.
Well, I'm saying at least one person of color survived that movie.
Sam Jackson survived.
He wasn't in the fight. He was chilling watching basketball. Also, I think I legitimately cackled, or this is when I started calling the movie stupid. When I flat out was like, this is stupid. This movie's stupid. Is when Samuel Jackson's character appeared on screen as Alfie, the retired CIA agent. When I saw him, I was like, no, this movie's not. This is stupid. Of course he is in this film. Of course Samuel Jackson's here. Like, why would I think otherwise?
They wasted him too. I mean, he gets more time than Dua Lipa and Ariana, but still, like,
he was. Like,
in fact,
why?
the most he does in this film is watch basketball.
He does. Well, like,
I
all the big
forgot
fight
he was
scenes.
in the movie until he showed up. That was the case for a couple people. I forgot about Samuel L. Jackson. I forgot about Sam Rockwell until he showed up, which was at the beginning of the movie.
I didn't see who was in this film. I knew it was Bryce Howard, and I knew it was Henry Cavill. I didn't actually see any of the trailers. The only thing I kept hearing was, this movie's stupid. This movie's stupid. This movie's bad. It's so bad. Why is it? So that's all I heard. I never saw any of the previews. I never saw any posters or anything like that. And I agree with them.
I've been seeing all the posters around here, like
listen,
LA and everything.
There's money
there's
behind
so many
this movie.
posters. On my commute to work for like the last 2 weeks, it's been nothing but Argylle posters. That's why I thought that some of these people were in the movie, except Dua Lipa. I knew they were gonna hype her up and give her nothing, but all these other people, I figured they would be in the movie more, but they weren't.
Can we talk about the twists in this movie? Because these are the things that hurt the movie the most. Because at least you could say about the performances, some are better than others, but for the most part, everyone's pretty serviceable, I feel like. I don't think anyone's doing a terrible job. But it's the twists that bring this movie down, at least for me. Like, the music box one in particular really pissed me off.
Really? I kind of saw that coming.
How she turns into evil Rachel.
Literally, they do not set that up at all. They just say that they show the music box to say that you used to be an ice skater. That's it. They don't set up that it has any importance in the spy brainwashing.
It's brainwashing, and it's a spy movie. That's another cliche.
Did the hypnosis.
Yeah. It's another cliche in spy movies is that there's a music that's a trigger or a certain word or something. So I'm like, okay, they hypnotized. They showed her like they really focused on the music box in the scene where she was in the hospital. I was like, that's coming back. That's absolutely coming back in one way or another. So like,
especially because it like me and Ariana talked about my Ariana, not Ariana DeBose. I don't know her.
Dang, for a second I thought you talked with Ariana DeBose.
But we talked about that.
Or Grande.
We were like, let me get this straight. So you have a music box that if you crank it and say the words of this like random thing or whatever, you can get this woman to do anything. Why did you bother to give her this whole fake life and keep her on standby writing these friggin' books all this time? You could have kept this bitch on ice. And just when you needed her, crank. Here's the song. Put it in the iPod playlist mix. Here we go. Now she's gonna go do whatever we tell her to do. Not because she doesn't stop until the damn thing's destroyed.
Evil. They just wanted to.
It was that it triggered her to kill. That it wasn't that they were like it could talk. She just went stoic and she's like, all right, murder. That's all that's on the brain.
But that's all they need her to do.
It's a failsafe.
But that's all they need her to do. She didn't do anything else. I mean, she wrote the books to give them, I guess, some secrets. But I think they really needed her to hunt down Sam Rockwell's character to get the what's it called?
Well, they were just trying to figure out where the key was, the master key.
Yeah, the master key. So it's like, okay, we know they have a rapport. If we brainwash this woman, he'll come to her. And the second he was on that train with him there, they, instead of all these agents going to kidnap her or kill him, just have one sit behind her in the train, crank. Now she'll kill Sam Rockwell and get the master key.
No, but that was the whole thing. She didn't remember where the master key was. It's so deep in her. And they weren't after Sam Rockwell's character. They were just trying to get her to tell. That's why when at the beginning she finishes the 5th book, I think, and the mom's character is like, no, you have one more chapter. He gets to England, and then what happens? So they weren't really after Sam Rockwell's character. They were just after the master key, which I kept getting annoyed because they're like, it's a silver bullet, and then it's an actual fucking silver bullet. Yeah. And I was like, oh my, you can't even just like use metaphors or nothing. Is a metaphor not a thing in this world? Because every time they use a metaphor, it ends up being an actual item.
And I was annoyed, if they know they're being followed and potentially watched, why do they go to the most public
public park to have this conversation?
And have this conversation.
Because they both have worked for this company, so they know the amount of reach they have. Well, at that time, Ellie doesn't, but Sam Rockwell does. He knows they have access to all the cameras around the world. Why would you be in a public park having this discussion?
Especially when you're trying to keep her safe and hidden, too. And it's like, yeah, let's just sit at the public park. And let me give you the laptop, that has all the access to stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing too. The other twist. When Ellie is like, when Ellie doesn't believe that she's Rachel Kyle, which I thought that whole twist was stupid. But when Rachel's like she's like, I don't believe it. I'm not a spy. And he's like, oh yeah? Hi-ya! And then like she blocks it. And immediately she knows Kung Fu like Keanu Reeves and can block all these moves. And she takes down Sam Rockwell. I was like, let me get this straight. All of the dangerous situations they've been in up until this point.
She could have done something.
You couldn't do nothing. You didn't know how to fight. You didn't know how to shoot guns.
Stop
nothing.
The heads.
But after this, now you are an expert spy.
Okay, so that is another cliche in like horror films. Sorry, in spy films where they're like, "Oh, I'm triggering your memory." It was actually made fun of in an American Dad episode, and I remember when I saw that scene, I thought about it, where Francine brainwashed Dan into like, you're not a CIA agent, blah, 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 you're this and that. But she tries to get him back. She's like, okay, I know what, I'll attack you and your CIA instincts will kick in. And she just ends up kicking his ass instead, because he's just like, why are you doing this? She's like, no, they'll kick in at any moment and you'll defend yourself and kick my ass. And like, it doesn't end up working. And that's what I kept thinking the whole scene. I was like, what if they made it? I understand they were probably going to always know
I
that.
would have enjoyed that. I mean, it would have been really sad
yeah.
to see, but if Sam Rockwell would beat the shit out of Ellie,
just like,
come on, activate your skin.
I was half anticipating that where he would have punched her, and she's like, "What's your problem?" He's like, "You were supposed to block it." Like, this was supposed to happen.
I thought like that would have made the movie more enjoyable, just to have it as a cartoon. Just have more moments like that, Not also, a full fight, but just one punch. Like maybe it scrapes, maybe it hits her in the chest or something. She's like, "Ow, that's my boob. What's wrong with you?"
Also, going back just really quick to how they reveal that she's Rachel Argylle.
Rachel Kyle.
Rachel Argylle.
The way they set it up, you are Argylle. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? What is that even Argylle? It's Argylle. And it's like, I hate all of you in that moment.
I was just like, are you out your goddamn mind?
The suspense and the seriousness that Samuel L. Jackson goes with it, which, respect to his acting, but come on, man.
I got confused too, because here it is. He's like, and then they go into a whole thing. He's like, he explains like, oh, well, see, here's what happened. You had your, like you got into this whole thing, and then we were spies together, and then we went on this adventure. Then they captured you at the hospital, but then you got brainwashed, and then I followed you, and I stalked you for 5 years and watched you all this time and whatever. And I'm like, this is the clunkiest way to deliver this information I have ever seen in my life. Especially because half of it makes no sense.
You know what was also clunky? The bait and switch when he's in the bathroom on the phone and she overhears him saying, "I need to kill Ellie."
Yeah, Ellie Cohen needs a bullet in her head.
But he was referring to the woman, her new identity, and not.
Because she was annoying.
It's so clunky. It's like, okay, even if that's what you meant, who would say it that way?
Right.
You're talking about her like she's a separate person. Right. They're the same person.
Just say, "I miss Rachel." Just say,
or just say, Ellie needs to die. I feel like that's a normal phrase. Sometimes they just need to die. Okay. But I can say put a bullet. That's so violent. Out of pocket too. Yeah, boss, she needs a bullet in her head. That's also your girlfriend, man. Another violent way to talk about your girlfriend, right. Her separate personality or not.
Also, that whole scene doesn't work because they're trying to make it seem like.
And how would he not notice that the bathroom door was cracked anyway?
That too. It's a very small room. Even if she wasn't right at the door, she could possibly hear you. He's a terrible spy, is what we're getting at.
Yeah.
But
technically,
but
he was the
also-
tech guy. He was never really the spy.
I guess that's true. But it's like, but also here's the other issue, right? Here's the thing. That scene doesn't work because they're supposed to be setting up the idea that you don't know who to trust. Maybe Sam Rockwell's evil and lying the whole time, which would work if we didn't see Bryan Cranston's character execute the shit out of one of his underlings with no remorse whatsoever. He at no point seems like a nice guy or very empathetic or anything.
It's also the fact.
So they're just both evil then, I guess? It doesn't look like one's good, one's evil.
It's
Right,
also the
at
fact
first-
that they also constantly were shooting at her. Like,
Right.
repeatedly. Maybe the people shooting at you, bad guys, you know?
Right. For a second, like, it's especially like, yeah, because that's why it was like, okay, now they're evil, now they're good, now they're evil, now they're like, I'm like, okay, who am I? Am I just rooting for nobody at this point? Especially when she shoots him in the chest, which we found out, according to Jerome, the BS reason.
Cop out. It's always a cop out.
Because here's the thing. It's like, yes, in theory, yes, you're not wrong, Alex. Yes, that can work. But you know what else you can do? They say that like it is also physically possible for the human body to tense up so hard that you could stop a bullet too. But if you saw it in a movie, you would be like, what the fuck is this?
That's true too. Yeah.
Like, I
Movie
hated that
magic.
so much. But anyway, go on, Jonathan. I'm sorry.
No, that was about it.
It's just like, although I saw that twist coming from a mile away when it's like, we haven't seen the dad yet all this time. And then they're like, oh, your
That
dad's
he
out
was
getting
gonna be
ice.
the
I'm like,
dad.
it's Bryan Cranston, isn't it? Is it Bryan Cranston? And then the second the door opened, I'm like, oh my God, who could have seen that coming?
Although I
But
will admit,
what
I just thought the dad was like the bad guy. I didn't expect them to like have that
Now,
whole
yeah.
plot point of like, oh, we
Catherine
actually
O'Hara
stole you and kidnapped you.
surprised
Yeah.
me. Yeah, that did
Same.
surprise me. Catherine O'Hara being evil. I was like, oh shoot, she's in on it.
Well, for a second, I was like, well, what do they mean that they're not her parents? Like, are they clones? Like, are they?
Yeah,
are
before they
just-
explained it,
Yeah.
How
yeah, I
crazy
was
is this spy movie going to get?
Right.
I was like, did they like raise you as a child to like foretell spy novels?
Right. That's exactly. I was thinking that too. Like,
Ari
was
thought
this
she
from
was a
birth?
literal psychic at one point in the movie, which I don't blame her. That seems plausible at one point.
I thought they
I
were
would
gonna
put it
go
past
like Beautiful Mind style. She's connecting the dots. Everything's making sense.
But yeah, there were too many twists. There were
and then
too
the
many
Ariana
twists.
DeBose thing, especially, that upset me. Like especially after his eyes get scratched out, I was like, finally, we can end this movie. Like, let this man get. And then the cat scratches his eye out, and they're like, his eye scratched out. No, wait, we've got something. I'm like, no, let the movie end, please. I want to go home. I'm tired. I don't want to be here anymore. Just stop the film. And they just kept going. And then it's just like Sam Rockwell is getting destroyed by Bryce Dallas Howard. And I was so prepared for the cliche. The power of love will let her like see this through, and she won't go through with it because
After
she
he
can't,
says,
because
"I
she
love
loves
you."
too much.
Yeah.
But then Ari reminded me, especially because it has that flashback where he's looking through their memories of the adventure or whatever. And Ari reminded me, she's like, no, but that's Sam Rockwell remembering those things. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you're right. So he's just gonna straight up die. I feel like the writers or the writer, because it's only one person, wrote himself into a hole, and so he had to make Ariana DeBose's character just show up out of nowhere. I mean, yes, it is technically foreshadowed in that this random fan sent me this thing.
Well, she said she wanted to bring the character back in her books, you know, and this was a way she could do it. And it was like, all right.
Yeah, because she got the idea from a random fan who emailed it, to which I'm like, okay, but if you're okay, that's stupid, because if she's supposed to be a spy that knows that Rachel is under brainwash as Ellie Conway, and I think they do say it in the movie, Maybe. I don't even know if they had time to say it. But why the hell didn't you go immediately to Sam Rockwell and help him out?
That's true. Technically, that was her friend too. And you let that man lose his girlfriend and one of his closest friends in like a 10-day range or something.
You didn't think to help at all?
She hung out on the boat with the evil people.
I have to say, this will be my last thing I say before I get into my final thoughts. When she did the stomp, they did the slow-mo, that was going straight to his head. I don't care what they say about, oh, she missed. That was going straight to his head. The smashing the teacup or smashing the music box wouldn't have done nothing.
It's true. It was already in motion as she crashed, and it's like, because here's the thing. Yeah, she knocked out Catherine O'Hara, but then the music box still has time. It's just to fall. In between that time, he would have died.
My thing is, Sam Rockwell also had a gun, and he looked at Catherine O'Hara's character. He looked at the music box. He didn't even have to kill Catherine O'Hara. He had to just shoot the music box. Like there was moments where they were paused, good amount of feet away from each other. He could have just shot the music box. Instead, he drops the gun and is like, "I'm just going to take a beating instead and get killed by her, all in the name of love." No.
Yeah, it's just. But here's and this is my last thing before I get into my final thoughts. Here's what I meant by they gonna pull another movie down with it, because it's not bad enough that the movie itself to me is trash. Okay, that's fine. Then they got the nerve to have a mid-credit scene where they go to the Kingsman bar, and then a young Argylle is getting his first orders, I guess, or whatever, and then they're like, Book 1 of Argylle coming to theaters soon. And I'm like, this better be a trailer in the universe of this movie. Because not only do I not want to see another Argylle movie, but I not want to see y'all drag the Kingsman down with you.
Wait, does that mean...
But didn't we watch...
The Kingsman is the bad?
No, we watched Book 5.
Yeah, we watched the end. Yeah. Wait, does that mean the Kingsman is the bad organization? Because that's where Argylle is starting out. If Argylle's starting out, then Kingsman is the Kingsman the bad?
That's a good question, because if Argylle is supposed to be technically Rachel, because the books are her memories, and Argylle goes to the Kingsman bar, which is, and I guess in reference to the Kingsman, then shouldn't she be a Kingsman agent?
Did they call the character Argylle in the mid-credit scene? I don't think they did, but they kind of implied Henry Cavill at the end with his Jerry curls going on was like an agent in itself, because he's like, we have things to talk about.
So I have a theory about that based off of the mid-credit scene. So if the mid-credit scene, right, is supposed to be, because the only reason I say it's Argylle is because it's a dude who's picking up the gun or whatever, and then they say Argylle Book 1, which I'm like, okay, but Rachel is Argylle, so in real life, it was Rachel who teamed up with, I guess, a Kingsman agent or the Kingsman agency, whatever. But if that's the case, right, if Kingsman exists in this universe, then it's possible that Henry Cavill's character, because he has a Southern American accent,
which he did surprisingly really well. I will give him that.
British and Southern is actually pretty close in inflection. When I did like my accent stuff with my acting coach, I didn't realize how close they were, which is why a lot of British actors are really good at doing Southern accents when they play Americans, as opposed to other accents.
Yeah.
It's possible that Henry Cavill's character is a statesman agent, because in Kingsman 2, we find out that the statesmen are like the American agent version of the Kingsmen, which are the English agents. So it's possible, and they're all cowboys and have deep Southern accents or whatever. So it's possible he's a statesman.
That is too much. My final thought.
See what I'm saying? They're bringing the movie down. They're tearing down the Kingsman to bring it down to this movie's level, and it upsets me more than anything else.
All we have to say is it's not canon, and then
I hope it's not. I really do.
The last thing I want to bring up before our final thoughts was I was upset that we didn't get to see Henry Cavill and John Cena kiss at the end. Because they had
I thought it was going there.
And Bryce's character,
and Alex
like,
both.
I was
that
like,
was going to
I was like, yeah. I'm like, you got the vibes. And she's like, I got the vibes. I'm like, right. And then
because
but
if it's imitating those two if it's
right?
based on those two characters, then those two characters would have.
Instead, we got them kissing, and then it breaks to Argylle and John Cena, and they're sitting a good amount away from each other. And it's like, you're not even going to have them at least be like a little closer or something?
Yeah, look at each other like, yeah.
They're just like, yeah. And I'm like, you just had them making out. And you're going to take that moment away from me and the audience. Hell, had you just, had the scene of them pulling away from each other, honestly, you would have probably brought in a whole crowd because people would have wanted to just see that one scene. Because that would have probably been the only good scene.
It would have gotten a higher rating on Rotten Tomatoes if that.
Isn't it like 32?
That scene would have.
It's like 32. That's the.
It would at least doubled from that scene alone.
We would have. I felt like we lost something there.
Yeah. Currently, it's sitting at a review score on Google at 3.2, and then.
I mean, that's still. They're just solid.
And then it is sitting at currently. Although here's the thing, we might be in the minority because it's at 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 72% audience score.
See.
I mean, it had these moments where you kind of did have fun. You're just like, this is just
boring.
Yeah. I did.
Anyway.
Okay, although the consensus from the audience on Rotten Tomatoes is Argylle is an entertaining spy comedy with over-the-top action and plenty of surprises, although the fun starts to run out toward the end of its overlong runtime, which that is very true. The movie is long.
Well, that's what the critics say, too, apparently. Argylle gets some mileage out of its silly, energetic spin on the spy thriller, but ultimately wears out its welcome with a convoluted plot and overlong runtime.
Well, hey, everybody can agree on something,
It's a long movie.
It's too long. Overall thoughts, my final thoughts for this movie. First of all, grade. I already said it, but I'll say it again. This gets an F. And you know what's a shame? This is the first review of the damn year, and already we're starting off at a bad note. For me, it's starting off with an F hardcore.
You know what else I think was the first review of the year? One of the years that we did it?
What?
Malcolm Murray?
I want to say Malcolm Murray.
But that was later in the year. That was the first thing we did coming back.
Well, it was in February. I know it came out in February.
Though. Yeah.
But did we take that month off that year?
I don't think so, because I think the first thing we actually did, starting in 2020, like right at the pandemic hit, Tiger King.
Well, that was 2021 was Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah, Malcolm
Marie. Really? Okay. I don't know if we took that month out. Yeah, but Malcolm Marie was the start after the expectation video. It was Malcolm Marie, and Malcolm Marie led to a whole lot of shouting, even between us all.
But this movie is like, I think we've said everything we need to say, but it's just to reiterate, like, it's just, this movie has far too many twists that confuse the plot. The acting is serviceable, but it's not like amazing. A lot of the CG looks bad. It looked dusty. No, that's just a joke. But for real though, this movie, and it's a shame because I feel like this movie is a waste of a pretty interesting concept that you could do something really interesting with. The idea of an author that is kind of almost predicting the future because her imagination is just that crazy. And then come to find out, it's just, no, she's just a spy. And it's like,
it's her memories.
That's kind of lame. And then it's just, and it wastes so many other good actors. The movie is just bad. Okay, I could give you more, but you just re-listen to the review. The movie's just bad. Don't waste your time. All right, wait for the next Matthew Vaughn project. And if you want to watch something with a little bit more decent spy stuff, I guess, watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's on right now on Prime Video. I started watching it.
What? It's good. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is good.
Yeah.
I am enjoying it. Yeah. Side note for that. Watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's got a great 2 leads. They're killing it, literally.
What's your rating, Jonathan?
I am going to give this a C-. And it's because we talked about a lot of cons in this episode. Many I have brought up and noticed while watching this film, including just the overabundance of twists, unnecessary twists. Bryce Dallas Howard got on my nerves for the first half, but she brought it around. Some of the things that don't make sense, like the fact that she's carrying around a glass cat holder, and the fact that they're in the park talking while they should be running for their lives, and things like that. But this movie was fun to watch, and I enjoyed it. Had a good time. I was not bored, so that is why I'm giving it a C-.
Also, I just thought about this. How'd they get that private plane? Because that was a fancy ass private plane, and they're supposed to be hiding from everybody. How are you gonna shell out like $50,000 for a nice private plane? You're supposed to be keeping a low profile. That's a very noticeable thing. Just saying.
Right.
Beats me.
And they had just broken away from their main agency, so where are they getting this money?
They have no money.
They got no money. They got no agency. They're living on Alfie's farm. My rating, that's just popped into my head when you were talking about it. My rating is, I'll actually give this movie a solid C. Not because it's a good movie. It is not. Understand that. It is a stupid movie. You will laugh for the wrong reasons. But it is enjoyable. I did like how they kept the colors very vibrant and fun, because a lot of spy movies like to overuse that gray coloring. They kept it vibrant. They kept it fun. They kept, they're silly. And everybody's acting, I will give them, was solid. Nobody felt like they were chewing up the scene. Nobody felt like they were only there for a paycheck. Everybody was like, we're here to act. And it's like, all right, cool. Nobody just gave a half-assed performance. They gave it their all. And I will say that. So all the actors definitely deserve acknowledgement for that, for how silly this movie was. None of the characters dropped the ball with that.
Dua Lipa did good. The 25 seconds she was in it,
for the amount of time she's in the movie, it's not like she doesn't deliver.
Yeah. Well,
I could 100% see her in more stuff. She's taking my Taylor Swift spot. I don't need to see Taylor Swift in anything.
That's
Jonathan's like, we've seen her enough.
we got enough Taylor Swift. This year alone, we got enough of Taylor Swift.
I will admit, she's everywhere right now. Like, it's very hard to go any 5 minutes in media news and not hear about Taylor Swift in some way, shape, or form.
We're getting a break from football for a little bit. So
can be in a movie. She could get hit by the car in the movie. Get
such a strong scene.
Rolled over.
Well, like,
it's
even
an Amsterdam reference for anybody who.
Yeah, no, Jonathan's not wishing violence on Taylor Swift, everybody. He is
disclaimer
referencing a movie we reviewed a couple of years back. In fact, watch the review. It's actually a pretty good one. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, disclaimer. We do not wish violence on anybody. Or death upon anybody, but also like Henry Cavill's character, who was the way he was, his acting, you could feel like he was having fun with this film too. He wasn't just like giving contrary to what Jasmine says, he wasn't giving a dull performance. He wasn't like giving monotone. He was really like, it looked like he was having fun with this film. So like all the actors, you can definitely tell were at least enjoying themselves with this film.
Especially because
from here on out,
he has a movie upcoming that we saw a trailer for this movie.
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly War.
Yeah, Warfare. It looks good. It looks
He
fun. I like a Guy Ritchie film
in that movie.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see him in that movie.
From here on out, every time we do a movie with Henry Cavill in it, we should have Jasmine on.
She's not gonna change her mind on this. Okay, she does not like this man.
He looks unhinged. Like he straight up looks like they were like, go have fun, Henry. Go have fun in this movie. In the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, they were like, go on out. We're gonna give you a gun. Just do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
He's hanging out with Alan Richardson.
Yeah, they're just like, fuck it.
They're
we're
like
gonna
the same
be
person.
You're not wrong.
One's just American, one's British.
Different fonts, same person, different fonts.
Right.
I will say, they had interesting plot points. They smushed them all together. Yes, they did too many of these plot points, but each plot point and the concept of the writing predicting the first half, the writing predicting what had happened and going very much into detail was also a very cool concept. So their concept was strong. It just fell off at the end. Had they just cut that movie a little bit, I think it would have done a lot better. But it is a movie that I wouldn't go to alone ever. Or I say don't go alone because you're going to watch it. Go with friends so you could mock it. That's this type of film. You know it's going to be bad. So go with friends so you can like listen and be like, what? What is happening? What are we watching right now?
It's like Ma. It's like Ma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Where you're just like...
I've never laughed at a movie harder than
yeah.
Ma.
Where it was
And
just
wasn't
like...
meant to be laughed at that hard.
Yeah, and you have to be with friends so you can just...
face painted white. I'm like, oh God, what the hell is this? He got the nice treatment. Everybody, this poor white girl got her mouth sewed up shut. Home dude got an iron on his goddamn skin. Meanwhile, this black dude, I'm just gonna paint your face white. I'm gonna make you white. Like,
I mean...
Or when she points the gun at the white kid, she's like, get naked, boy.
God.
Her poor daughter is out here sick as hell. She's just like, get your ass upstairs.
There was, I think, I'm going to say it was Family Guy, one of their older episodes, where it was something where somebody was fighting like fake teeth. Like it was like teeth and they were fighting them. No. It was a Superman style guy, but he was a dentist. And he wrapped this one henchman in like dental floss. And he hit another henchman with like a toothbrush. And then like the third guy, he put a drill in his eye. And then he's like, what the hell? You tied up him, you knocked him out, but I get a drill to the face? That's a little extreme, don't you think? That was a quick jump. Why did I get that? It's like, yeah, one of those ones where it's like, what, that was an escalation for the whole situation, was it not? Like, why am I the one getting actually murdered? But yeah, if you're planning to see this movie, go with friends. I can say that much. It just really sloped down. I think, yeah, it just needed to be cut and maybe a plot twist taken out. 2 of them or 3 or 4. But this movie is like a solid C where it's like you can watch it once and that's enough and have some fun with it at least.
Y'all being so kind to this movie right now.
Like I said, all the actors
Well,
could have copped out and been like, I'm here for the paycheck and made it so much worse. But each one of those actors were absolutely professional in this film, gave it them all. And like Samuel L. Jackson's character also, he went all out.
She thought that in the beginning, but towards the end she was like, okay, maybe I should. Anyway, sorry. I love you, Bryce Dallas Howard.
I love you, even though I kept confusing you with that other actress. I swear they just replaced her at the end for like a moment. I'm like, that's not her.
Poor Sophia Botella too, man. She never gets her like every time she gets her moment to shine, she just gets crapped on all the time.
Well,
I love Sophia Botella.
Films.
I think she's great, but she never gets enough of her time, like ever.
She needs to pick better movies.
It's her agent. She needs to fire her agent. Now this.
Fair enough.
Wow.
I watched the new Mummy for 15 minutes, and I had half a page of complaints that I had about that movie. It was awful. I was so angry because I love.
She was in Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. That was probably pretty good. I haven't seen it.
Some of them were good. I don't remember which one she was in, but there were a lot of very interesting stories, and I believe they won an Emmy even, or were Emmy nominated at least.
So she was in Atomic Blonde. That was good. Hotel Artemis. I thought that was good. Forgot she was in that remake of Fahrenheit 451 though.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was so bad. There was no reason. Don't. Because they were really trying to write off Michael B. Jordan. They were trying to really write off his fame from Black Panther, and I feel like then the whole movie there's a whole message about burning books and knowledge, and dystopian, and they it wasn't even about that in this one.
Yeah, they missed that.
They missed that mark. It's a little ironic. You're supposed to kind of be talking about how knowledge is power, and how when you take away our ability, to have these books, you take away our ability to make choices for ourselves, and you took the books away in the movie. It's bad. You don't need to watch it. This movie I find better than that Fahrenheit movie remade.
Yeah, Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite books.
I mean, if you've been in an English class, you probably have already read it. But if you haven't, it's a good book.
Ray Bradbury is one of my favorite authors. I cannot go into a little book review. Ray Bradbury is absolutely one of my favorite authors. I have almost all his books. The Illustrated Man and Something Wicked Come This Way have always been on my reread list. So especially Something Come Wicked This Way. I don't know why. I just love that book so much. Actually, I have a sign above my bathroom, but it wasn't on purpose. That's where the space was, that says Something Wicked Come This Way, because I was like, ooh, the book. So, but anyway, I think it's about time we end this
social,
right?
Audience, let us know what you thought of Argylle. It's the new year. What do we do? You can find me at Jonathan Keys on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you please. You can find us at The First Ones to Die on all of your favorite social media platforms. You can email us, firstones2die@gmail.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe. We would appreciate it. And if you're listening to us on audio, please give us 5 stars and a review. It would help us out immensely. Alex, where can people find you?
You can find me at Alex and Nobody on Instagram and on TikTok, where I post videos of mainly Cheddar. I should just really change it to Cheddar's TikTok. But you can also find us over on the podcast TikTok, The First Ones to Die, where I post little clips of our episodes, conversations we've had, things we may do in the future, and then random stuff when I'm bored and rewatching older movies too. So come join us there. What about you, Jerome?
You can find me at Not Jerome Rhett on Instagram. And also, go on over to the YouTube channel if you want to check out some extra content that you can't get in all of our audio streaming platforms. Stuff like book reviews, mini reviews, vlogs, gaming content. And we're going to start posting some serious extra content this year, y'all. So I promise you, you're not going to want to miss being subscribed to the YouTube channel, because you're going to miss out on some good stuff this year. We got a whole lot of stuff planned. 2024, year 4 of the First Ones to Die podcast, is going to be a dope year. I can promise you that. So please subscribe and then hit the notification bell so you can be caught up, know when new stuff is going up, because we also put video versions of all of the podcasts so you can see all 3 of our lovely faces as well on the YouTube channel. So please subscribe. Yep.
All right. And until next week.
I was just about to say, I was like, tune in next week for something. But actually, we do have a calendar this time. So tune in next week for Bob Marley. Talk about the Rasta man. Right. Probably not, though. I don't think he's Rastafarian, actually.
I feel like I am during the month of February, I'm not allowed to make so many jokes on the next episode. So
That's right. You better watch it.
I gotta be careful.
But it just it lines up perfectly because, of course, this is Black History Month, so we're doing Bob Marley in honor of the Bob Marley movie. So we're gonna watch Bob Marley One Love. Tune in. You're not gonna want to miss that review where we talk about it. So
I am
It's
almost
gonna
Happy
done.
Valentine's Day to all those.
and
who
happy
celebrate.
Valentine's Day. We're not doing a Valentine's Day special this year, but you know,
The last one
Happy
almost gave me a panic attack.
Wait, what did we do?
We did that
watched
Valentine's Day movie.
Right, we watched the movie
Yeah,
Valentine's Day.
it almost
What
gave me a
happened?
panic. There were so many. They were constantly introducing, like, so many characters, one after another. Halfway through the movie, there was another introduction of a character, Bradley Cooper's character. I don't think it was Bradley Cooper. Yeah, Bradley Cooper's boyfriend's character. It was too much. I have a shit memory. I have ADHD. I have anxiety. It was too much. There were too many characters. Why do this? And all of them were so cringeworthy. Especially Jessica Alba's
Well,
character.
this year
Who
you
goes
just get
to
to chill out.
like an
This year you
ex
just
Valentine's Day?
get
Okay.
This,
Sorry. Finish.
this year you just get to chill and watch Bob Marley. Hey, maybe even.
No.
yeah. Well, regardless, see you later, audience.
Bye.
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 I was trying to say maybe even partake in some activities before you watch the movie or something, but I didn't want to. I
I thought you were always talking about falling in love.
Go on over to the YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die to see all the fun stuff we got going on here, like mini reviews, book reviews, gaming videos, vlogs, all types of stuff.
Please follow us at The First Ones to Die everywhere. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe.